Good morning, students. In previous class, here in previous lectures, we discussed about what is an algorithm and algorithm specifications and pseudocode, then conversion recursive algorithm, performance analysis, what is space complexity and what is time complexity discussion, emerging complexity also discussion. Emerging complexity we also discussed in the last class, and asymptotic notations also discussed in the last class. Um, so discussing implementations, just two topics remaining in first unit: practical complexity and performance measurement. We will do these two topics in the next class. Today we are going to start our second unit, that is divide and conquer technique. Okay. So we have that divide and conquer technique. The two topics remaining first unit. Okay, first unit, from any doubts in first unit, please write a message in chat box. Just now I'm going to start the second unit, that is divide and conquer. This is our second unit, divide and conquer. So here the name indicates that we just divide the algorithm into subparts and we have to conquer. Okay. So here dividing and conquer means, so it is an efficiency approach for fast algorithms in sequential computation. Okay, so we are using this is in sequential computation. This is a very effective approach for dividing and conquer is an effective approach for sequential computation. So first we have to divide the algorithm, then conquer, then combine. Okay, so first problem is divided into number of subproblems here. So a problem instance is divided into several smaller instances of the same problem, ideally about the same size. Okay, so see the smaller instance are solved typically recursively throughout. Sometimes a different algorithm is employed when instance becomes small enough. So the solution is obtained for smaller instances are combined to get a solution to the original problem. So here we are just dividing the total problem into some. For example, I have the problem of size n. Okay. So I divide the problem into two subparts. One is subproblem of size n by 2, and another one is the problem of size n by 2. And later I do solution to this problem, and also I give a solution to this problem. Okay, so this is the solution for the problem, and this is the solution for the another problem. Then we merge, we combine these two, that is the solution to the original problem. Okay, so just to see your concept, that is first divide the problem into subparts with divide the problem into subparts identically the same size. You have to divide the problem, then then find the solution to that problem. The problem this point solution to the problem one and point solution to the problem, then combine the two problems, and that is the solution to the final problem. Okay, this method we call it as the divide and conquer method. Okay, here just we divide the problem into subparts and find the solution to the problem, then combine those solutions, call it as a divide and conquer technique or conquer approach. So we already studied divide and conquer methods in data structures and data structures, that is merge sort and in merge sort and quick sort. Okay, your the divide and conquer technique methods are merge sort and quick sort. You already know merge sort. We divide the problem into subparts, so then find the solution to the subpart, then finally get the solution to the original problem. Okay, so all of you know about the merge sort function. So for example, if we have 4 elements, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, these are, sorry, 6, 8, 7, 3, 4. So this is the problem. Just we divide the subpoint by here. This is divided by 2, so we get the problem into subparts. This is 2 problem. Again we divide this problem into 2 parts. Then this is one problem, and these 2 are the another. And then we separate this. Then we again divide this problem. Then 6. This is another problem. This. So then we have to just compare these two. We get the output as 6, 8. Then these two we get the output as 3, 4. Then combine these two. Okay, divide this problem, combine these three, this is the solution for these two problems, then combine this is the solution for this problem, then combine these two problems, then we get as 6, 7, 8, then this is the sub problem, then merge, then combine these two problems, we get the solution 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. So in this way, you use the divide and conquer technique and find the solution to that problem. Okay, clear? So see here what the purpose of the divide and conquer means. It is useful in parallel computations. So we have to derive some efficient parallel algorithm by using the divide and conquer techniques. For example, parallel random access memory is there. We are using here for instructions ER for exclusive read operation, for CR for concurrent read operation, then EW for exclusive write operation, CW for concurrent write operation. This is the parallel computation model by using the divide and conquer approach. Okay, PRAM is the parallel random access machine. Okay. So for better, for example, if you want to calculate the sum of n numbers, okay, how we calculate the sum of n numbers by using the divide and conquer approach. Okay, so we have the values here. So find sum of n numbers. You have a0 value is there, then a1 is there, and so on. Of n minus 1. Okay, so what is the, so find the sum of n numbers, and this is my problem. How we find the solution for that problem? So actually this is the question. So if I want to, these are the numbers a0, a1, and so on, an minus 1. So now I want the solution for this is, I want the problem for the sum of n numbers. So first I add f0 plus f1 plus and so on plus a of n minus 1. Okay, I want the value of sum of a of n minus 1 for all if n greater than 1. Okay, if n greater than 1, then we divide this part into subparts, that is a of 0 plus a of 1 plus and so on a of n by 2 minus 1 plus a of n by 2 plus and so on plus a of n minus 1. So I divide this problem into two sub problems. Okay. So what is the time efficiency? We call it as time efficiency represented as T of n. So where n is the input size, where n is the input size. Okay. So where n is the input size. So here, for example, for n is the power of b. So n is the power of b. So we have the formula here, that is T of n equal to nothing but time efficiency. T of n equal to a into T of n by b plus the function f of n. Okay. So see here, a and b are constants. that is a greater than or equal to 1 and b greater than 1. Okay, so here f of n is a function that spends time on dividing the problem. So while you dividing the problem, how much time you spent for divide the problem into smaller ones. So and after dividing the problem, then we have to combining their solution. So this type of recursion is called as divide and conquer recursion. Okay. So here T of n equal to a into T of n by b plus f of n. F of n is a function that spends time on dividing the problem into smaller ones and on combining their solution. So this type of recurrence we call it as a divide and conquer recurrence. Okay. So here the order of growth of this T of n depends on the value of constants a and b. Okay, and also the order of growth of the function f of n. So if you want to analyze the divide and conquer method, we have one theorem, we call it as the master theorem. If you want the efficiency analysis of divide and conquer is simplified by the master's theorem. Okay, so here what is master's theorem? If 1 minute, I will say the okay, see here students. See here, this is the master's theorem. So it is easy to determine the running time of the algorithm. Okay, see here of a function f of n is n is the input size. I already told you. If n less than k, so directly solve and return. If the other case, if the n less than k, you have directly return. Otherwise, you have divide the x into sub problems n by b and solve each problem by combining the result of the problem. Okay, so now I just tell you that T of n equal to a of T of n by b plus f of n. So here this problem is divided into n by b of size n by b and solve them recursively to compute the function f of n. So here where n is the size of the problem, where n equal a is the number of sub problems in the recursion greater than or equal to 1. Okay, here a indicate the a of sub problems in the recursion because we are dividing the problems into sub problems. So that is always greater than or equal to 1. Then n by b indicates the size of each problem. Here n by b indicates the size problem. So f of n, where f of n is the cost of work done outside the recursive calls and dividing into subproblems and cost of combining to get the solution. So this is about the Master's theorem T of n equal to. This is about the divide and conquer theorem T of n equal to f T of n by b plus f of n. So for this, if we want to initialize the Master's theorem, the function f of n belongs to n of d. Okay. What is Master's theorem means? If a function f of n belongs to the n power d, okay, where d greater than or equal to 0. So in the recursive relation, already know the formula. T of n equal to f T of n by b plus how much time required to divide the problem and combine. That is the f of n. So if you move to this one. So for example, here in this T of n equal to. So for T of n belongs to, okay, here three cases are there. When T of n equal to n power d, if when it is belongs to n power d means if a less than b power d. Just remember, I will explain with an example. If T of n belongs to n power d, if a less than b power d, and if the T of n belongs to the n power d log n, okay, n power d log n, if a equal to b power d. So in this case, T of n value is n log n when a equal to b power d. If T of n equal to log b to the base a, if a greater than b of t. So by depending upon the a value, here we get the n power d value or n power d log n value or n power n into log a to the base b value. Okay, so this is, we call it as the master theorem. Okay, for example, we have a time efficiency for T of n equal to 2 into T of n by 2 plus 1 for all n greater than 1. Okay, so here what is see here, this formula, this is belongs to the formula, that is T of n equal to a into T of n by b plus f of n. So this is in the same format. So here f of n equal to, what is the f of n value here? Here f of n equal to 1, a equal to 2 and b equal to 2. So what is the d value here? So always we are taking the d value, default d equal to 0. Taking d value is 0. So we check that these three conditions. If a less than b, what is the condition? So here a value is 2, 2 greater than 2 power 0. So that is 2 greater than 1. So what is the what are the three cases for this? If T of n equal to n power b, if a less than b power d. If T of n equal to n power d log n if a equal to b power d. If T of n equal to n log b power a, the log a base b, then value is a greater than b. So here this is a, this is b, so a is greater than b. So we have get the values here, that is T of n equal to, so we get the time efficiency for this problem is T of n equal to theta of, okay, we already know a greater than this, that is log a to the base b. This is the number. So here a equal to 2 and b equal to 2 in this, in the above example I already told you. So here we get the theta of n of log a to the base, so that is log 1, so we get the value is theta of 1. So in this way you have to calculate by using the Master's theorem. Okay, so just remember these conditions. Okay, just remember these 3 conditions. Okay, this is about the Master's theorem. So now we just move to the mid sort. How this is one of the method we are using for mid sort. We are using the divide and conquer method. All of you know about the mid sort. This mid sort using the approach, that is divide and conquer approach. See here, suppose we have some sequence of numbers x equal to x1, x2, xn, and y equal to y1, y2, and so on, ym are given there, and each sorted in decreasing order from low to high, and with n greater than equal to m greater than to 1. Okay, so the problem of merging x and y calls creating these two sequence into third sequence number, that is z1, z2, and so on. Okay, they also sorted in the non-decreasing order. So so this merging will perform only the, we have two sorted arrays a and b, or x and y, then we merge with the third element. So see here, first we have some elements. So okay, I am taking one example. So this is my x array which contains 6, 5, 7, 9, 6, 5, 7, 9. Okay, then I am taking the another array with 3, 5, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, these are my two arrays x and y. So by using some sorting techniques, I sort the x elements, and by using some sorting techniques, bubble sort or any other sorting technique, I use these two sorting and algorithm. Then I get these x values are 5, 6, 7, 9. Then by using some merging sorting techniques, I sort these algorithms. Then 1, 3, 4, 8. Okay. So these are my x elements. So this here each sorted in non-decreasing order. So this is the order of decreasing order from low to high. So both are sorted by using some sorting techniques. Then I take one variable as another variable as, so another variable as z I am taking here to store. By merging these two components, and the result will be stored in the third variable, that is I am taking as a z. Okay, so for I am taking okay, see here. So I'm taking index array for x is I am taking here I, for y as I am taking j value, for z as k. So first I am taking another block is z, that is with index k. This is the index with I, and this is the index with j. So here I am storing the values 5, 6, 7, 9. Here 1, 3, 4, 8. Okay. So first we compare the I value with j. Which one is less, that element is stored in k. So that is 1. So then increment the storing index, that is j. So I already stored the least element j. J is incremented by 1. So j come here. I remains as it is, because that will not move any, that the element in the I is not moved in the k. So that's why I is not incremented by 1. So here I store the j value, then k is incremented by 1. So k comes here. Then again I compared with I and j value. 3 and 5 are compared. The least one is 3. So 3 stored here, and k incremented by 1. So j also incremented by 1. Then 4 is compared with the I value 5. Again the 4 is stored here. I am incremented by k here, and j also incremented by 1. K I is remains as it is, because that element is not moved, not stored in any other array. So I is remaining here. Then j is compared with again I. So see here, this is 8 element, this is 5. So I is least element. So I store the I value here 5, and again I incremented k by 1. Here I incremented by 1, because I stored this value in the k. Okay, then I is compared, then again stored here. Then again k is incremented by 1, and I is incremented by 1, and the same way here this is k is incremented by 1, here I is incremented by 1. See here in this case 8 and 9. So I is the least element, j is the greatest element. So j is the least element, I is the largest element. So I store the j here. Then after that here there is no elements remaining in j block. So directly directly store the remaining elements in the k. So directly, for example, we have here 10 and also 13. We just tell them, but we just only compare after 9 only. Then we cannot compare these elements, because already this is in one of the this is the sorted array. This is also another sort array. So both are compare depending upon the size. If the size A is greater than size B, compare till the least size of the B. Then store the remaining elements in the K. So in this way, we are performing merging here. This method we call it as a merging. So merging is performed between two sorted arrays only. Merging is performed between two sorted arrays only. Okay. Okay. So here merge sort is a successful application for the divide and conquer technique. So it sorts a given array by dividing into sub problems. Okay, and sorting each of them recursively. Okay, we have to sort each of them recursively and then merging two smaller added into a single sorted one. Okay, so just see here in this we have to divide the problem into two sub problems. I already divided this overall this is the one problem. I divided the two sub problems. Then I perform sorting technique on I use some of the sorting techniques on X and stored in ascending order, and I perform another sorting technique in one and perform store in Y. Then I merge these two. Okay, then that is the solution for the actual problem. So in this way, we have to calculate the divide and conquer techniques. Okay. Okay, any doubt, please write a message. Understand Master's theorem and also just understand about the, how we perform divide and conquer technique in merge sort. So just remember here the merge of two sorted arrays can be done by taking two array indices which are initialized to point to the first elements of array being merged. Then the elements pointed to are compared and the smaller one of them is added to the third variable, that is new array. Okay, after that we are incrementing to point and after that small element is incremented to point its immediate successor in the array. So it was copied from the previous one. So this operation is continued until one of the given array is exhausted. Okay, and the remaining elements of other arrays are copied to the end of the new array. Okay, so just I told you, see here, this is the one array and this is the another array. I just compare both arrays, which one is the smallest one, that one stored in the another variable, that is k. Then the k value, then the k value incremented by one, then j value is also incremented by one. Then again compared with j value I. So in this way, when we will continue this process means this process operation is continue until one of the two given arrays is exhausted. So here in this example, the y array is exhausted. Then the remaining elements in the array x are copied to the new array. The remaining elements is copied to the new array. So this is about the merge sort. Okay. So how we calculate the efficiency for the merge sort? For example, we are assuming that n is the power of 2. assuming the n is the power of 2, that is n is the power of 2, then the recursive relation we already know that C of n equal to, okay, so 2 into C of n by 2. Okay. Okay, where assume n is the power of 2, the recurrence relation by using the Master's theorem, C of n equal to 2 into C of n by 2. So why I wrote here 2 into C of n by 2? So we are dividing the problem into two sub problems, that is C of n by 2 plus C of n by 2. Directly write it as 2 of C of n by 2. After dividing the problem into sub problem, then we perform some sorting techniques. After that we merge the two problems. So that is the merging of, that is C merge of C of n for all n greater than 1. Okay, so I write here means I divide the problem into two sub problems, C of n by 2 plus C of n by 2. That's why here 2 of C of n by 2 plus this is the time for the merge. So here the number of key comparison performed during the merge stage. How much in this C of C merge of n means the number of key comparisons performed during the merge stage. So at each step exactly one comparison is made. Okay, for each step at least one comparison is made. Okay, so just we calculate the what is the worst case, what is the time efficiency of this algorithm. Okay, so just see here, this is 2C of n plus T of merge time. So merge is the number of key comparisons performed during the merge stage. So for example, at each stage exactly one comparison is made. Okay, at each stage we have to merge only one comparison. So the worst case of these two arrays becomes empty, because we have to make the comparison, neither of two arrays becomes empty before the other one just one element. So here worst case is we have to calculate that see here what is that means neither two arrays becomes empty means, for example so here I am taking this example. Seven, 11, 14, 15. Three, 4, okay. Here in the 16, 18. So first both are compared here. So 1 and 7, one is stored here, then 2, then 3, then 7, 14. This will not complete. In both cases, both arrays are not in the not both are not empty, because in three cases this will incremented by 1, in after that this is incremented by 1, so this process will continue. So in that case we, in the worst case for that is C of merge of worst case for this is, because we have to move n numbers, we have to move n minus 1 times. Okay, for n elements, we have doing this process continuously. Any one of the array will not empty, and the third element, third array is storing the elements, but both in both arrays, they both are not empty. So the complexity, where the worst case for this is C of merge of n equal to n minus 1. Okay. So we have just see tomorrow discussed what is the time complexity of the mid sort in worst case and best case in the average case, and also discussed about the quick sort in divide and conquer approach. Just remember the Master's theorem's formula, that is T of n equal to A into T of n by b plus f of n. If A less than b, T of n equal to n power d, and if A equal to b power d, then n power d log n. If A greater than b, n log A to the base b. So remember those formulas. Okay, today I end the session. Tomorrow we will discuss them. Thank you.